The log cabin was their dream. Nestled deep in the woods, it promised peace. A sanctuary for Mark, Lisa, and baby Sabrina. They spent weeks unpacking boxes, the air filled with the scent of pine and hope. Sabrina, with her bright eyes, was the heart of their new home. Each coo, each giggle, echoed their joy. They felt complete, safe. Life was idyllic. Days were filled with laughter and long walks. Sabrina, strapped snugly to Lisa's chest, would gaze at the rustling leaves. At night, the fire crackled. Mark would read aloud, Lisa rocking Sabrina in her arms. The warmth of the fire mirrored the warmth in their hearts. They had found their haven. One crisp autumn evening, they tucked Sabrina into her crib. Her tiny hand clutched a stuffed bear. They stood by the doorway, watching her drift off. "She's perfect," whispered Lisa, her eyes shining. Mark nodded, his arm around his wife. Their happiness felt tangible, real. They were a family, bound by love and the promise of a future bright and full of laughter. As the days turned into weeks, their bond with the cabin deepened. It wasn't just a house, it was their sanctuary, the place where their love story unfolded chapter by chapter. Little did they know a storm was brewing, a storm that would shatter their peace and leave behind a trail of unanswered questions. A storm that began on a cold winter night, the silence broken only by the howling wind. The first rays of dawn pierced through the gaps in the curtains. Lisa, still drowsy, reached for Mark. He wasn't there. She sat up, a shiver running down her spine. "Mark?" she called out, her voice thick with sleep. No answer. She stumbled out of bed and walked towards Sabrina's room. She had a bad feeling, a mother's intuition. She pushed open the door, her heart pounding. The crib was empty. The stuffed bear lay discarded on the floor. "Sabrina?" Lisa's voice was a choked whisper. Panic seized her. She ran to the hallway, her bare feet slapping against the wooden floor. Mark, where are you?" Mark came rushing up the stairs, his face etched with concern. "What is it? What's wrong?" He stopped dead in his tracks, the sight before him too horrific to comprehend. Lisa, her face ashen, pointed a trembling finger at the empty crib. "She's gone, Mark! Sabrina's gone!" They searched frantically, every nook and cranny of the cabin, the woods outside. Nothing. Sabrina had vanished. The silence was deafening. How could this be? Who would take their baby? As the initial shock wore off, a chilling realization dawned on them. The back door was ajar, the garage door wide open. Had someone broken in? The news of Sabrina's disappearance spread through the small town like wildfire. The tranquility of their haven was shattered, replaced by fear and suspicion. Neighbors gathered, their faces grim, their voices hushed whispers. How could this happen in their close-knit community? The police arrived, their faces grim. The investigation began. Every neighbor questioned, every lead pursued. The community, desperate to help, joined the search parties. They scoured the woods, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. Hope dwindled with each passing hour. Where was Sabrina? The press descended upon the small town. Cameras flashed, microphones were shoved in their faces. The story of the missing baby, a tragic mystery that gripped the nation. Lisa and Mark, their faces etched with grief and exhaustion, made tearful pleas for Sabrina's safe return. Their voices, hoarse from crying out, begging anyone with information to come forward. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The leads ran cold, the trail gone cold. The mystery of Sabrina's disappearance remained unsolved. The once idyllic town now shrouded in a perpetual cloud of sadness and fear. The community forever marked by the tragedy. As time passed, whispers began to circulate. Doubts lingered in the air, as heavy as the humid summer air. The police, frustrated by the lack of progress, started to scrutinize every detail, every inconsistency in Lisa and Mark's story. Their behavior, their demeanor, everything was under the microscope. The whispers grew louder. Some people started to point fingers. Why hadn't they heard the baby cry? Why was the garage door open? The suspicion, a venomous snake, slithered its way into the heart of the community, dividing friends and neighbors. The question lingered, was it a random kidnapping, or was there something more sinister at play? Had someone, driven by desperation or malice, taken Sabrina? The not knowing, the uncertainty, was the heaviest burden to bear. The mystery of baby Sabrina remained unsolved. The log cabin, once a symbol of love and hope, now stood empty. A haunting reminder of the life that was, and the mystery that continued to baffle everyone. The laughter of a child, silenced, replaced by the chilling whispers of suspicion and the unanswered question, what really happened to baby Sabrina?